Good morning, students. Today we're going to be talking about lies and how not to fall for them. Misinformation, disinformation, uh, fake news, spreading things that aren't true, and how not to fall for it, and how not to participate in it. Let's begin. So, misinformation is when you think it's true, but it's not, but you say it. Disinformation is when you know it's not true, but you say it anyway. Um, And it matters because if we are all um, participating in the ecosystem of lies, nobody knows up from down, and it's hard for people to be able to make informed decisions with their vote, with their pocketbook in their lives. So it's really important uh, that we fight uh, misinformation, disinformation, but first we got to know what it is. And so, um, disinformation is an outright lie. Misinformation is more of an exaggerated statement. Now, how does it start spreading? Well, first we see something that gets our attention, something that gets a rise out of us, and we see the false information, it matches our opinions, it feels true, and so we share it. And other people can react in different ways that um, amplify the lie, and then it gets out of control. The expression is, a lie has made it half around the world while the truth is still putting its pants on. So a lie spreads faster than the truth, unfortunately. And so it all starts when we see something that gets a rise out of us, and we think, oh man, this is crazy, everybody needs to know about this, so you want to share it. But it's um it's possible to stop it. First, we can consider the source, check the date, check the author, check your biases, realize that you may play a part in this becoming this falsehood spreading. And you know Google the issue, look at other websites, use your critical thinking, ask yourself if it's a joke, and look up what some experts might have to say. Um, yeah, all these things. Check your biases, especially. Um, say I have blonde hair, and I want to think that people with blonde hair are better than everybody, and I see a newspaper article that says um, people with brown eyes are less intelligent and people with blue eyes are the smartest in the world. I'm going to uh, think, man, that has to be true because I'm the best ever. And because I want it to be true, I will uh, ruin it for everybody and spread the lie. Uh, just to kind of make up an example out of nothing. Um, when, of course, anyone with two brain cells to rub together knows that hair color, skin tone, all that has nothing to do with intelligence. Um, now, uh, it's important to pause for a second. It's important when you read something that makes you feel a certain way, like immediately. Um, but if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. It's important that we pause and we don't believe everything that we read. Unfortunately, you know, that's there's so much out there that is not true that we really have to be vigilant and make sure that we don't fall for it. And it all starts with the first initial um, interaction you have with the news story or with the meme or the image. And so if you see something, you know, pause and be doubtful. There's several tools that can be used to see if something's true. Um, just look at legitimate news websites: BBC, New York Times, uh, NPR, British Broadcasting Company, National Public Radio. These are all generally good sources. There's no such thing as a news source without a bias, but some have more than others, and you don't want to be manipulated. People making you think certain things um, because they want it. So, in order to fight this, we can do a reverse Google image search. You can take an image, download it, and just drag it right into Google, and it'll tell you where it came from. Factcheck.org, Snopes are great websites that all they do is find things on the internet that people say that are not true, and they call them out. Also, um, there's this field called media literacy, and that's kind of what I'm talking about, which is just developing a practice of um, any time you see something to go through these steps. Pause for a second, check the facts, analyze the headline, consider your own opinion or your own biases, what you may want to be true and what may be actually true. Evaluate the evidence. Be mindful if it's someone that's sharing clickbait, and engage with critical thinking. Use your brain. What is clickbait? Clickbait is when there is an article or something online that uh, it's outlandish, and you just want to click it because it's crazy, and every time you do that little click, someone makes a fraction of a penny, and enough people click on it, somebody's making a lot of money. So don't fall for clickbait. It's just kind of the worst of the worst of misinformation. Also, be aware of cultural biases we may have. Biases. Um, there may be language barriers in how the story originally came out. There may be um, people that are trying to make money off of certain immigrant populations by spreading falsehoods. Like, say I sell cold medicine and I'm the only guy in town that speaks Nepali. So, I'm in the small town with a little Nepali community, and I can get online and say, "Oh, did you know Nepalis are are getting sick from colds? They're dying. You got to buy cold medicine." You know, um, rumors can spread fast in close knit immigrant communities because a lot of times people can only trust people they know, or they can only uh, they rely on anecdotes to make sense of the world, and so there can be some cultural manipulation as well. So um, be aware as an immigrant in a new place that there you are a target for people trying to make you think things that are not true. So these false beliefs, um, they they're caused by certain drivers. Um, there's first, it's, you know, our own our own fault for not thinking enough. Intuitive thinking. Uh, we're not. We will forget to look at the other side or see if there's evidence against it. Um, or we're familiar with something, and what's familiar seems more true than what's not. When the truth doesn't care, it doesn't have any feelings. The truth is just there, um, and it doesn't have any kind of it's a it's kind of hard to explain. Everybody knows what I mean, though. Hopefully, um, there's also our emotions, our worldviews that what we want to be true that kind of play a part in this. Uh, so, what can we do? Um, all these things that I've been saying. Uh, check the source. Make sure that someone's not trying to make money off of you. Uh, make sure it's not a joke. The Onion is an excellent comedy newspaper, and they make all these headlines that are and all these articles that are just very funny. But some people don't realize that it's humor, and there's actually a place on Reddit called "Ate the Onion," and it just shows people falling for what's obviously a joke, but they can't realize that it's meant to be funny, and so it's funny when people can't realize things that are actually ridiculous. But the world is ridiculous sometimes, so it can be hard to tell the difference. Um, stop and think. Ultimately, look at the source's source. Look at the where whoever wrote that. Where did they get that information? Ask an expert. Uh, look up what the scientific community or what the authorities in the field think. Um, but it can be uh, you know people are ultimately just trying to look out for their own well-being. They want to be okay, and so if people are already scared, they're already confused and panicking, uh, or on the other side, they're denying the seriousness of the situation. Our emotions play an are central into the spread of misinformation, and we all have to play a role in stopping these lies before they become a problem. And there is another infographic that I'd like to share that um, is helpful, and I need to find it right quick. Um, Here we go. Disinformation stops with you. So, um, yes, doesn't you stop with you. Now, bad actors spread disinformation to undermine the democratic institutions that we live in, power of facts. False and misleading information can evoke strong emotional reactions that leads people to share it without first looking into the facts for themselves, polluting healthy conversations about the issues and increasing societal division. Do your part to stop the spread of disinformation by practicing and sharing these tips. This is from, I believe, the CIA website, and the CIA is kind of is the worst. Throughout history, they're important. We have to have espionage, but uh, this is a cybersecurity and infrastructure security agency. Uh, So it's not the CIA, but it's okay. It, but they're looking at cybersecurity, which is something we'll have to worry about, and it plays a part in misinformation. Uh, so the um, misinformation is sorry. So this kind of mainly just goes over what we've been covering to reemphasize it, recontextualize it, so that you can uh, really get the idea. Question the source, investigate the issue, think before you link, talk to your circle. Um, if someone is sharing something that is wrong, let them know. Call them out on it. Say, uh, "Hey, friend, I don't think that's true. Uh, I would look at this link right here because this may be misinformation or disinformation." Um, but it's all just lies, and we all need to be careful about it. So, why are they doing this? They're trying to divide us. They want to control how we vote. They want to control how we spend our money. Um, they're trying to attract followers. They're trying to make money. In a lot of these businesses, the more, uh, I mean, in all of them, the more followers you have, the more money you're going to make. And so they're trying to just say outlandish things so people can be like, man, this person knows all about all the crazy stuff going on. I'm gonna follow them. Uh, it's all manipulation. Um, and a lot of these people want to go viral. They want to be all over the internet, so uh, they share crazy stuff. They'll amplify coordinated campaigns, spread disinformation. They'll and they try to get into they try to make enough people believe it that it gets into the the mainstream news. Uh, they're really trying to make a splash, and if enough people believe a lie, it's eventually going to end up on the news. Not uh, because it's true, but because the mainstream journalists have a duty to inform the public. However, sometimes it can backfire. It'd be like, okay, everybody's believing this lie. It's not true, but this is what it is, and that'll make people more curious. You know, yeah. Sometimes it's hard to fight, but it has real world effects for all of us because if we all think lies, then we can't make informed decisions. Or as it's phrased here, bad actors use online disinformation to affect our real world behavior, trying to influence how we vote, inciting physical confrontations, and disrupting healthy democratic discussions and participation. Uh, yeah, it has an effect on the real world. So again, check the author, check the date, check the message, check for facts, consider how the author supports their arguments and whether they address counter arguments. Check the sources. Check the primary sources. The If the journalist mentions a name, look up that name and see what other people have reported about the person that said that thing. For example, check the quality. Sometimes disinformation, they make thousands of these things a day. And so a lot of times they'll use low quality images or pictures that are obviously made by artificial intelligence, although very soon. And actually now it can be very difficult to tell the difference between artificial intelligence images and ones that are not. In fact, soon it will be impossible. However, um, they may have a ton of ads. There may be sponsors, like the ads may be advertising something that's suspicious, like uh, sex related pills or uh, make $1 million if you click on the money uh, kind of advertisement. So if you see that kind of thing, you know it's not legit and you need to go away. And you probably should do a virus scan on your computer because you may have some bad software, some malware now. Um, but we all play a role. We can all investigate not just the source, but the issue generally. Um, what are the fact checkers saying? What are legitimate news sources saying? Is your investigation neutral? Uh, are you so determined to believe one thing or the other that it will be hard for you to distinguish fact from fiction? You know, be honest with yourself. Um, and above all, you know, does it provoke a strong reaction? If it makes you feel shocked, angry, sad, consider that the purpose may be to get you to respond emotionally and share it without confirming its accuracy. So investigate the issue generally that the whatever you're looking at may be talking about. Um, and think before you link. That's really important. If you see something, if you see an article that's interesting or whatever, uh, and you think it's worth sharing, and there can be articles out there that are interesting that are worth sharing. Read the whole article. There may be something in there that makes it all untrue. Sometimes the headline doesn't match the content or the of the article. The written article says one thing, but the headline is just trying to get your attention, and so it will say something outlandish. Uh, so look at the whole page, the whole everything about what you're about to share somebody. Um, know the facts. Investigate for yourself the issue being discussed. Know why you're seeing it. Social media promotes content that it thinks that you will engage with. That doesn't mean make you happy, make you sad. It's everything. Having a stupid argument with a stranger, or even saying, "Wow, this is cool." Everything, any comment is engagement, and that's all it's trying to do is make you share and comment and whatever you can do to stay on that social media website longer because if you're on that website, somebody's making some money off of you. Uh, and yeah, you got to know yourself. And why are you sharing the content? You know, are you trying to confirm your beliefs, even if it may be untrue? Um, and if you wouldn't share it in person, do not share it online. Uh, and so you know, it starts with us. But the next step is when we bring other people into it. And uh, you know, I don't want to say it ends with other people, but I guess it kind of does. Uh, you know, well, it starts with other people sending it to us. It perpetuates or dies with us, and then when we put it back into the rest of the world, then you know, then it's out of our hands. So when we interact with other people about this thing, we should be prepared, knowing our homework, and starting a conversation. Um, and know the evidence. And this is a big one. Decide if it's worth it. You know, it's no one is on their deathbed wishing that they spent more time on social media. And so, and if you get a little gut feeling that something about sharing this doesn't feel right, just don't share it. No one's putting money in your pocket to do this. I mean, in if they are, then you know, please don't spread information for money. But uh, if somebody shares something that's crazy, and there's someone you care about, personally, send them a private message. Be like, hey, I don't think what you said is true. Uh, here's something to back that up. It's not easy. A lot of even our most dear friends can not be interested in uh, a counterpoint. And in today's modern era, the depth of the delusion is so deep. People really just kind of they're stuck in their own little world, and nothing can change their minds. And if people have already made up their minds and they've renounced reason, then it's not worth it. You can't have a conversation with anyone that you can't administer medicine to the dead. Um, assuming you're right and you're the doctor with the good medicine. Um, but if someone's made up their mind, then you can't be able to continue the discussion. Focus on the facts. Uh, that's try to have a shared reality that uh, you can all um, be on the same page, and you know get the facts right before you move on to an opinion. Be respectful. Um, the person you're talking to, or you're talking with privately, is a human being. Or if you're talking online with a person, a lot of, and also realize, don't get in arguments online with strangers, because it may not even be a human being. It could just be a bot. And these days, you even have programs, bots arguing with other bots. Um, it's crazy. So it's always best to just, in general, limit your time online. Go outside, touch grass, listen to the birds, smell the flowers, and draw a tree. Look at a cloud and see what the shape of it looks like to you. Uh, you know, there's yeah, we should all stay informed, but we don't have to be on social media all day just watching the what's supposed to be the best years of our life pass us by. Um, you know, it's probably not worth it. uh, whatever you're gonna share, uh, it it's better if you want to share, if you want interaction with your friends, call them up and have a conversation and ask how they're doing, ask how their family is, ask how their life is. It's much better than like, hey, check out this crazy article about a three-legged monkey. And you look up and there, of course, there's no such thing as a three-legged monkey. But, you know, be respectful, realize that we're all wrong sometimes. Be a resource. Try to be a source of light in this era where we don't know, where it's harder to tell what's true from what's not true. And it can be tiring to always have to have a filter and reconsider and rethink and not be able to take anything at face value. But you can't believe everything you see, read, or hear online. You have to you can't be gullible. You can't be easy to manipulate. You got to be a good citizen who can tell a lie from truth. We all have to be. So, in conclusion, uh, in a world of information, being informed is power. And it's important to read. It's important to read books, to read historical books, to read um, extensively about things, so that we're not just talking in bumper sticker terms, that we have a philosophical basis behind what we believe, uh, to expose our minds and our hearts to other people and other ways of thinking, and know about how things are in different parts of the world, so we aren't ignorant. Uh, so with that, I wish you an amazing weekend, and uh, I hope that you are able to work towards your goals and tell someone you love them and enjoy the beauty in life. Thanks so much for joining, and until next time.